Good afternoon. My name is Sabrina Brightstar. I am here in front of the Pacific Ocean, the beautiful Pacific Ocean. And I checked in with my heart today and said, I really feel called to share something. And what should I share? And what showed up is a game to connect with your familiar. Do you have a familiar? What is a familiar? A familiar is and consciousness, a being, an intelligence that connects with you. Some people consider a familiar like a guardian angel. Some people consider their familiar like a spirit animal, a spirit element perhaps. Some people have a lot of familiars. Some people have never even thought about connecting and discovering if there is a familiar or a consciousness that is trying to communicate and connect with you. I got the hit. I was like, what do I want to talk about today? And so I tapped into my heart and I just kept seeing the familiars. So I played this game the other day with a friend, and when we were on our meditation, when we were on our journey, a crocodile showed up. Now, I'm not a person who has had an attraction to crocodiles, but this amazing kind of cartoony crocodile showed up, and it felt like the message from this crocodile was that the crocodile is often misunderstood. The mask that the crocodile wears is a frightening mask. Ooh, do you see where I'm going with this? Do you see where this is going? I didn't know this is what was happening. This is exciting. This is exciting. Okay. The mask of the crocodile is frightening. It's not a feel-good, warm, fuzzy, like I want a crocodile to be my pet or to be my spirit animal or to be my familiar. But when this crocodile showed up, because I like to communicate, and that's something that we'll do today, and that's something you can do anytime, is when you get a visual, you get a download, you get a hit, you sense something, you see something, you hear something, whatever it is, you have the right to be inquisitive and ask questions. Ask questions like, why did you present yourself? What would you like to share with me? What would you like me to know that I'm not receiving yet? Help me to receive the idea, the information, the download, the frequency exchange. And information is happening on so many different levels, right? So don't judge what's happening, and you don't have to be linear where you need, the perfect answer to why it showed up or what it means. So for example, this crocodile showed up like 2-3 days ago, and now in this video, I'm already getting another layer of the information. And the other layer that I'm getting as I've been recording is what masks have we been avoiding or not paying attention to because they maybe are scary, they maybe are intimidating, they maybe are presenting as dangerous. But what if we would go beyond that first impression, beyond that projection of what other people have told us? What if we went a little bit deeper? And so when the crocodile showed up, I thought, why is a crocodile showing up? But then because my pattern is if I see something, I become curious. Why are you here? What do you know? What would you like to share? And I believe if anything is showing up in my reality, it's a gift and a contribution. So I assume when I saw the crocodile, the crocodile had something mutually beneficial to exchange or co-create with me. And so being inquisitive, asking those questions, and then letting the information happen at that moment, and or be available that the information might unpack and more information might continue to be downloaded in the days, weeks, months to come. That's what's so fun about being multidimensional. Stuff that happens in 2024, you can dot back to 2020 or 2013 dreams all of a sudden make sense in 2024, right? Like, and that's what's so fun about tracking and documenting your story. Even if you don't want to do it for anyone else to see, track and document your story for you, for the journey between you and you. So then as you have a different dream, or as you get a download, or as you get inspired ideas or intuitive hits and information, like you can like track it and you can be like, oh, now that makes so much sense. Okay. So I'm on a very abstract conversation today, which is the way multidimensionality works. So let's go back to the topic of a familiar. How do you get a familiar, or what could be your now familiar? I believe we're always changing. We're always different aspects of who we are show up differently. So an aspect that's maybe only 10% has shown up might come to the forefront and present as 60% of your interest or your passion or your personality, right? Like there's so many different aspects of who we are and so many different consciousnesses that we're connected and co-created with, but they ebb and flow in when they show up, or what the interest is, or what the highest excitement is. So just because you get a familiar today doesn't mean you have to keep this familiar forevermore, right? So you can have this connection, you can have this great exchange, and you can, it can morph, and tomorrow you might want a different connection, or you might always like have a special feeling for this relationship that you develop with this familiar, with this consciousness, and maybe you always keep that active and alive. So many options, free choice, and so many options, so many timelines, so many opportunities. Okay, so how do you find your familiar? Well, first of all, let's just set the intention. Let's set the intention. I would like to co-create with a familiar, with an aspect, with a consciousness that is here to be in an interactive, co-creative, beneficial connection with me. And one thing that I've really been doing when I have intentions is I program my water. I'll get a glass of water. I do this every day. I have my water and I program whatever the intention is. So if you're really wanting to like dive deep into this connection with a familiar, like the more effort that you're exerting on your end, the more like effort, the more time you invest in this project, you're sending out the signal like, hey, this is important. This is a priority. I'm taking this serious. So you're just broadcasting a bigger, louder broadcast when you do the prep work, when you do the like additional things to raise your vibration, to use the tools of the elements like the water to assist and support you, so you can have a more intense, is that the word? You can have a more clear, a more focused, a more easier connection, however you want to word it. So that is one super simple thing you can do, is set the intention. You would like to connect with a familiar. You would like to connect with a consciousness that is here to co-create, support, and have a mutually beneficial relationship with you. So you can have that intention, and then just imagine that. Like imagine how you'll feel having a connection with a consciousness, with whether it's a spiritual animal, an angelic being, a shape, a sacred circuit. Doesn't matter what it is. If you specifically only want it to be an animal, well then put that in your intention. But if you're open to what this connection can be, let it be. A plant might show up, right? An element, a fairy, right? A unicorn. Like sky's the limit what can show up, or maybe something very practical shows up, right? But set the intention. You would like to have this relationship with the familiar for a mutually beneficial exchange, for the expansion, for the evolution of your spiritual journey, for your multidimensional journey. So, and then you can drink the water. You can also journal it, write it out. My intention is, and get clear. What is your intention? And then how do you do it? It's so easy. It's so simple. First of all, what is your belief? Is your belief it's hard to do, or is your belief it's super easy? There's tons of consciousnesses available to communicate loud and clear with me. What is your belief? If your belief is easy, well, then you'll have an easy experience, because that's what you've already decided in advance. That's why Bashar talks about your beliefs are so important. If you have a belief, it's really hard for me to connect. It's really hard for me to communicate or channel or have interactive relationships with interdimensional beings. If that's your belief, then that's the reality you must create, right? That's your reticular activating system always will support your beliefs. It's the way the body is designed. So if you want a different reality, change your beliefs, or discover you've got some beliefs that aren't really serving you for your mission or for your project or for the game you're wanting to play. And that's why I play games. Why is a game so important? A game just keeps it easy. A game just makes it not special. A game just makes it simple. You're not attached to the outcome. You don't have like this, oh my God, I'm going to find out what my mission is, and then my life will change forevermore. Like, that's heavy. That's like, oh my gosh, that's so much control, that's so much force, that's so much, this must be like mandatory. And then, like, you know, it slows down the frequency, in my opinion. These are my opinions. So for me, the way I can connect easily is I have the belief it's just fun. It's just a game. Whatever happens, happens. If it's a great connection, yahoo. If it's just like a mediocre connection or a dead connection, oh well, so what? It was just a game I played. You know, it didn't take that much of my time. I played around for 5-10 minutes. No big deal. Do you feel the difference between it just being light and easy in a game with no attachment to the outcome? Okay, so then play the game. Play the game. So you've decided that this connection is going to be easy. You've decided this connection with your familiar is going to feel good. It's going to be a benefit. It's going to be a co-creative, mutually beneficial connection. You've decided you're going to get some hits and downloads. You've decided it's going to activate and open up some dormant pieces of your multidimensionalities so you can feel more alive. You can thrive more. You can have access to more of your multidimensional gifts. All of these great things you've decided in advance about how easy and fun and beneficial this relationship is going to be. You've set the intention, you've written it down, you've maybe programmed your water, you've drank your water. Then what do? Just connect, drop into your heart, take a conscious breath, drop into your heart. And see what you see. And if you see nothing, that's okay. And if you see colors, that's okay. If you see shapes, if you smell something, if you have a memory of something, just notice what you notice. Notice what you notice. I'm actually seeing an onion, and it's just, there's layers. There's layers and layers and layers. And the deeper you go, the stronger the scent, the more potent it becomes. But even if you're only on that first layer of the onion, it's still an onion. It still has value. It still has nutrition. It still has purpose. Oh, that was good. That was good. That was good. Did you hear what I said? Whatever you're seeing, whatever your experience has value. It has purpose. It has nutrition, multidimensional nutrition, right? Like our imagination, allowing our imagination to exist and to be seen and acknowledged, it's one of the most powerful things I believe any human can do. I believe our imagination is hands down, bar none, our most powerful multidimensional gift. Ooh, I'm getting chills. Oh, so the familiar. see what you see. Let it, invite it to continue to show up with you. Maybe you didn't get a lot, maybe you got a lot. Invite it to communicate with you during dream time. Invite it to play with you. Maybe you'll be inspired to watch a movie or a TV show and you get like, oh, ideas. Invite it to go with you on a journey and just daydream and co-create. Invite it to become maybe a cartoon where it can communicate and talk, and it just seems silly. And the sillier it seems, the easier it is to communicate with this. So like when the crocodile showed up for me the other day, we were, I wasn't looking for a familiar at the time it was showed up, but we were actually opening up the Akashic records, and the first image I saw was the crocodile. And then when I asked, and then I got that information about, I know like it might look scary, but I felt in the frequency of the crocodile, and the frequency of the crocodile was protector. I'm protector. I'm protector. Like you are safe, you are safe, you are safe. And that doesn't sound like it makes sense, because usually you would think if you see a crocodile, you're not safe, run for your life. And that's why I'm getting in this message today that then the next layer comes, and I'm seeing how like maybe we can look at masks, maybe we can look at things beyond that first layer. Let's lift up the veil of the first layer. Let's lift up the first mask. Is there a mask on that topic you're looking at? Is there a mask? That's a really good question. Everything. It has layers and then the onion. This is making so much sense. Everything has layers and layers and layers. Lift up that first mask. Ask some open-ended questions. Invite new possibilities, new patterns, new information, new downloads to be presented. Lift up that layer. Lift up that mask. Lift up that veil. Ooh, this is good. I knew I needed to share, wanted to share, felt the urge to share, and I just kept thinking, I got nothing to share. But as we start playing, like so much information just drops in our field. So drop into your heart, play games, have fun, connect with your familiar, connect with all that is, connect with your multidimensional self. Thanks for listening.